Alright, hi everyone, I'm Tracy and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I use contour and bronzer, both a cream contour and bronzer and powder. So I generally will use both, start off with the cream product and then layer on some powder. And then I'm going to be featuring this new product I got. It's the Patrick Ta Bronzer Duo. And it's in the medium shade She's Sculpted. I went to Sephora yesterday and I saw a bunch of these because this was out of stock, so I was like really excited, but I guess I looked and it's been available. So but anyways, I was really excited to see this product because I really like his powder products. I have the blush palette and I use the powder blushes a lot, not so much those cream blushes because they're a little bit too emollient, a little bit too sheer, but it seems like this product right here is not really like that. It is matte from what I can tell. So I'm going to be using this to show you guys some of the brushes that I use. So I'll explain the brushes. I have quite a few that I like for this purpose, and then at the end I'll give you guys like my top 3 brushes that I like for this. So let me start out. I'll kind of explain the different ones I use, and maybe this will help you guys decide which one would be right for you. So one type is like a narrow goat hair brush like this. These are pretty dense. This is the Mizuho MB113, and this is the Muragishi Sangyo My Sakura foundation brush. I mean, you can use it for a foundation, but because of the density and the shape, you can use it to, like, create contours here, and so I think this one's a foundation brush as well, but I pretty much just use this to contour, and this provides a fairly thin line, and then I would blend it out from there. So if that's what you're looking for, you want to be like really precise, I think these two would be good. The Chikuhodo G10 is also good for this purpose. This one's a little bit smaller and a little bit shorter, but anything like this with like this shape, and it has to be pretty dense, is good for creating definition. Another way I do this is with a round, dense, a little bit fluffier than the other ones, but a round brush. This way it kind of applies and blends at the same time. So I would use it like this, and also this is a little bit easier to do like all over bronzing with a cream bronzer, and the Sanuji Classic Base is also amazing for this this purpose as well. And a lot of my brushes are going to be dirty because I'm trying not to wash them so much because they break down, the more you wash them. Anyhow, another way you can do the cream bronzer is like with a bigger foundation brush that's shaped like this. This is going to create a little bit less definition, but maybe if you're beginning, this might be better because it'll kind of blend it out at the same time. So this is the Fupon number 2. I do think this is better for foundation, but if you don't want to use it for foundation, this is good for bronzer as well. Another way that I apply like cream contour, more cream contour, and I don't know how I figured this out, but the Sanuji Jumbo Concealer, it's like an itty bitty version of like this. I use this for the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand because this is very liquidy, and the applicator, it's hard to control how much you put on at once. So what I do is I use this, and then I'll kind of draw it on and then blend it out with something else. So that's something you can do if you're using this. Yeah, this applicator, it's not the best, but with a brush like this, it's a lot easier for me to manage. I haven't been using this a whole lot, to be honest. Okay, another thing is I do powder or not. A lot of makeup artists will say to powder first. I generally don't, just because my skin is drier, and I feel like just if I put more powder on, it tends to make my skin look drier and older and a little bit heavier. It has been pretty hot, like it's really hot right now. I'm under these lights, so I feel like I should powder, but I'm going to try to do it like how I normally do without using as much powder. Okay, I'm gonna have to put this headband on, and I hate doing this because it's gonna mess my hair up. Okay, so let me show you. I'm gonna try to do this with using as many brushes as possible. Oh, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of the powder. And I'll show you a couple of brushes that I've been using for the powder. Okay, so I did a post, a reel on Instagram showing swatches of this compared to the other cream bronzers I have. And this one is a little bit more on the neutral side. It's kind of a similar shade to the NARS Laguna cream bronzer, except this one's not as dark, and the texture is better. That one's more of a moussey texture, and that one goes on pretty heavy. I'm gonna kind of guess that this one is not gonna be as like concentrated of a pigment, but we'll see. I'm gonna use the MB113. I think this is a good one if you're starting out with cream bronzer. And I just put a little bit because it's the first time using this product. And I just start right here. And then I like going up the side of the face. I'm going to use a different brush for the other side, so I'll show you guys this side. And then also because it has that angle, you can use it like long ways. And do that. I don't like having like a super contoured look. And then also you could bring it here. A lot of times I won't do this, especially like a day like today. I'm wearing a white shirt. I just feel like it's gonna stain. All right, so that's for a day-to-day basis. That's how I would use this brush. You could, you know, go in with something like this, put a little bit more and blend it out a little, but you don't need two brushes for your cream bronzer. And then I'm going to show, I feel like there's a lot of interest with the Sangha Fusion brushes, so I'm going to use the classic base on the other side. But it's pretty much the same technique. If you can get your hands on these Fusion brushes, I would say these are some of the best cream makeup products that you can get. But I know sometimes these are hard to come by, so I wanted to give you guys different options. Okay, I really like this product. I tend to use bronzer to contour. I'm not sure if that's because these types of products tend to translate a little gray on me. It's just like my skin tone. So I never use like a separate contour powder or anything, because when I did that, my skin looked like straight, like gray, like Elvira kind of look, you know. So that's the classic base. Okay, so I had all my makeup on except for like, you know, bronzer and blush. So I think that is plenty for like an everyday look. I'll put a little bit more on with the Muragishi Sangyo, and like, so I use this for foundation today. You can use it for bronzer on the same day. It's not gonna mess up your application. All right, and then I usually do blush at this point, but just for the sake of the video, I'm going to use the powder bronzer right here. I haven't even swatched that, so I have no idea I don't really know how this is going to look, but I'm sure it'll look fine. So my preferred way of doing powder bronzer is with these Hakuhodo angled brushes, and I have 3 that I like for this purpose, and I've showed these so many times. So I'll link videos of me using these or showing these. I'm just not going to use them because these have gotten a lot more expensive and just a little bit harder to get. So I'm going to try a different way. Not try, I'm going to show you another way that I do powder bronzer that comes out equally as well. I'll use a brush like this. This is the Songeji Hinoki, the larger one. And I believe this is still available. Another thing that mine is doing, it's shedding a lot. I try to get, so if I want like some of the hairs to come out, I'll do this and I'll see some of them come out. I mean, I don't know if that's like bad for the brush. I try not to let the hairs come out when I'm filming, but right, so I'll kind of get it on the entire part of the brush, and then I'll stamp. I feel like I have these hairs on my face. So I'll stamp along the face like this, and then go up here. So I'll use it like long ways here, along here, and then see, look how many hairs are coming out. I know this is Songeji, and I hate to have to say that, but I just wanted to let you know why I haven't been using this one as much. And you can also go like across the nose, and it's also good for doing this part. Like there's hairs here. All right, and then because it's been so warm, I will powder on top of this. Although I'm going to use this Stila. These are like putty blushes. I really like both of these products in here. And I'm using my favorite cream blush brush, the Rephr number 4. That's even enough. All right, so I'm really, take my hair down. I'm really liking this this bronzer duo. I mean, I had a feeling I would like it. I was just afraid the cream part would be a little too luminous. I'm gonna swatch it for you guys here. So it's pretty matte, you know, once it dries down, and it blends really well. So if you're wondering the finish of this product, it's definitely matte. And then I'll show you the powder. Yeah, this is a perfect palette for, I would say, light to medium. I would say if you are tan, you might need the darker shade because they're not that dark. So this is like the perfect, I think, tone and shade for me. Yeah, I really, really like it. Is there any? No, there's no there's no luminosity in either one. And it comes with this little cover, which I really appreciate, so it doesn't dry out, and it comes with a pretty big mirror. I really like the Patrick Top packaging, and they feel very, yeah, very luxurious. It snaps closed. They're a little bulky, but not terribly bulky. So yeah, that's the Patrick Top bronzer. Alright, so now I'm going to share with you guys my top 3 favorite cream bronzer brushes. And I'll start out with the Mizuho MB113. This is the one I've had the longest. And so I think probably like 2 years I've had this, and I continue to use it. It's not always on my vanity, but it has been washed a lot. And what makes this one different from my other brushes is the angle. It's got a very slight angle, which I like. And I really like it that you can use it both this way and with that angle. You can blend it out like this. So I would say this is a really great brush to start out with if you are just starting out with cream bronzer. Very reasonably priced and an amazing brush. If you don't use it for bronzer, it's a great foundation brush. I believe this is considered a foundation brush. So that is the Mizuho. And for like a round fluffier brush, I really like the Koyudo Yoshiki cheek brush. I haven't had this too long, but I've been using this pretty regularly. It won't be as precise as the previous brush, but it's good for if you want to do like all over. It's dense, but not super dense. And yeah, really good. You can use it for a cream blush as well. And also a good beginner brush, I think. And then another one that I highly recommend is the Sonogy Classic Base. I've used this many times for my cream products, mostly cream bronzer. It's really good for creating contours, and it's good for kind of getting all over. It holds up really well. You know, it's made of natural and synthetic hairs, doesn't shed, and really solid brush. This one's going to cost a little bit more than the other two, but I would say, yeah, all 3 of these I like equally. So depending on, you know, where you want to order from and what price point you're at, you know, either one of these will be a great option. I don't think you'll be disappointed with them. So yeah, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.